Last Thursday was a tragic day on Twitter.com. If you were a legacy verified checkmark, now, I'm not a legacy verified checkmark. I've signed up, done my bit, paid my $8 because I'm not on Amazon on Apple, so I don't have to pay $11. So now I'm officially a retard.
I've been really out of the loop. What do you mean you got to pay a different price on Apple?
So Apple scam people who use their pay app by saying, look, you got to pay 30% of whatever your transaction goes across this app to us. And so Elon was like, right, okay, we'll just raise the price of Twitter Blue on Apple by 30%.
Oh, that's gold.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I don't use Apple, so I'm only paying the $8. But I've got an official verified checkmark account now, which is not how I thought 2022 was going to end.
You cursed, or
Well, I am more retarded than I was before we started. But the point is, like, I get to wear a little cap that says I have autism. So please be nice to me. The legacy verified checkmark. So it's nice to call them legacy because it's even the official thing on Twitter is a legacy verified checkmark. And if you bring up the text that is the pop up on it, it says this count may or may not be notable.
times have changed.
They didn't take it well, right? They did not take this well. Anyway, and so they've been trying to do everything they can to essentially revolt against Elon Musk. And Musk has been winning a lot, actually, until about yesterday, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But the point is, Elon has been winning so much that I think he can be, at the moment, compared to Robert Clive, the conqueror of India for the British, who you can go and watch a premium podcast about on Lotus.com, where me and Bo are discussing Clive of India. How did he take this gargantuan subcontinent? Well, gloriously. That's how. But anyway, if you want to go support us, go watch that. It's good stuff. Because the thing is, right, you can't really make a solid comparison with someone. Because, I mean, before I was comparing Cunning to Napoleon, I was like, oh, Napoleon lost. That's not good. We need a comparison.
Also, Napoleon was the bad guy.
Well, to the Russians and the British, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay, but not to...
what do you need?
Not to Napoleon, he's not...
Oh, he wasn't the bad guy to the French. I don't care.
Well, he might have been the bad guy to the French, to be honest. Yeah. But the point is, you can't really compare someone to a historical figure until their life is over, because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. And so, before I prepared this segment, I was thinking, wow, he's actually quite similar to Robert Clive. I'm starting to think more like Pyrrhus of Epirus now, but we'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, so, Thursday... Things started getting brutal.
I recognise that name.
Yeah.
That's the Vox.com editor, isn't it?
It was. Well, I mean, I suppose it still is. Like, everyone's treating this as if, literally, he's cashed in his Twitter Valhalla, or is now feasting in Twitter Valhalla.
So did they all decide to delete their Twitter accounts like they said they would?
No. Account suspended.
Well, what did they do?
Whack. Do you know who's next?
No. Matt Binder? Not familiar with that one.
Do you not remember him from Gamergate?
I'll probably remember if he has his profile picture.
Right,
But
well,
I won't see that anymore, will I?
As another one, whack. And as Jack Posobiec pointed out, this is turning into a bit of a bloodbath.
Ooh.
Lots
Okay.
of very big left-wing journo accounts.
Some may or may not notable people being removed.
Notable if you're in particular spaces. And so, as Jack Posobiec there points out, it's like, hang on, what, did they dox Elon's private jet? And it turns out, yeah, they did, actually. So Elon had posted this. Last night, a car carrying his son, X, was in LA, followed by a crazy stalker who, thinking it was me, blocked the car from moving and climbed onto the hood. Legal action is being taken, of course. But the point is, the person knew roughly where he was and had tracked him down. And remember the Elon Twitter jet tracking bot? Well, that's gone as well now, instantly. Right. Because this appeared that actually, yes... revealing Elon Musk's location in real time kind of has consequences when you are Elon Musk and there are millions of rabid leftists out there who actually probably would kill you if they had the opportunity.
Well, I wouldn't have my location streamed 24/7.
No, I wouldn't.
I think you can do it if you want, and it's...
Yeah.
Who would do that?
Yeah. And so Elon was like, look, actually, we'll have a policy where you can't dox people on Twitter. You imagine the leftists took that well. They're like, hang on, that's all we do.
Hasn't that been policy for a long time? It's just never been applied.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's never been applied. And then so suddenly, things are, and Elon literally came out and said, look, journalists will be treated exactly the same as everyone else on Twitter, and therefore whack, 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 whack,
Yes.
a bunch of them got suspended for doxing Elon Musk. And as he points out here, if you go back to the other one, if anyone posted real-time location and addresses of New York Times reporters, the FBI would be investigating. There'd be hearings on Capitol Hill, and Biden would be giving a speech about the end of democracy. He's right.
Okay, no, 4D chess. Bring them all back immediately, and then just start doxing their location. What are they going to do?
Good point. We don't need a doxing rule on Twitter.com,
I agree, Aaron Rupta at 52 Elementary Drive.
which we do not know is his
Yeah,
address.
it's completely fair.
And so, yeah, that's a great point. And people were like, well, should real-time doxing be banned? And as you said, yes, it actually was,
Yeah, and for a good reason, which is,
Yeah.
death.
And so half a dozen very infamous journalists got their accounts suspended, and all hell broke loose
Why the hell were they all tweeting it?
to dunk on Elon Musk. Look, this is where you are, or something. Like, I don't
Again,
know.
they all think they're invincible.
They were prior. The rule never applied to them.
Shame.
The BBC decided to report on this. There was lots and lots of reporting on this, but of course the BBC one is this is most like regime mouthpiece, I think. But the United Nations has joined the European Union in condemning Twitter's decision to suspend some journalists who cover the social media firm. The United Nations, the European Union. They're like, Elon, you can't suspend Keith Olbermann
We will
for
just
doxing you.
we will just completely overthrow elections.
Yeah.
I mean, like the EU, the most notable example.
Well, no, they don't. No, that's not.
Sorry, they ignore the elections.
They
don't
ignore the
overthrow
elections, just have the election again until they get the result they want.
them. Yeah.
The United Nations, I mean, I guess
Come on,
I can listen to China and Russia's opinion on fair treatment of the internet. I guess I can be lectured by these people. No, piss off. I don't care about their opinions at all. Right?
I think they're still on the Human Rights Council, along with North Korea.
Thank you for your service, North Korea.
Yeah.
Anyway, reporters for the New York Times, CNN, and the Washington Post are among those locked out of their accounts.
Oh no. Oh
This is an attack on journalism,
no, that's not.
Media freedom is not a toy, says Melissa Fleming, the UN's Undersecretary General for Global Communications. A free press is a cornerstone of democratic societies and a key tool in the fight against harmful disinformation. Well, Melissa, I have to say, if you don't like what Twitter does as a private platform, go and build your own. Remember, it's not censorship. To be refused a platform, they're just showing you the door.
No, Melissa, just send us your current location. I mean, I'm sorry, but like this is.
And then
so...
we'll put a bot up of you wherever you go.
yeah, but like it would be okay if it's a day ago, Bill Gates he went to Jeffrey Epstein's island. I mean, obviously there's public interest there, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Doesn't threaten the guy. Blah blah blah.
But that also doesn't have to be real time.
Yeah, current real time where you are. I can agree that probably is not worth defending.
Yeah.
And not really needed.
I don't think that's a component of free speech.
There's an imminent incitement to violence that can be inferred from that.
It seems to be political intimidation. Yes. But again, like media freedom is not contingent on the use of Twitter. As we've been told many, many times, you don't have a right to use social media. Private platform, do what it wants.
I mean, I believe you do, but...
I'm just going by Supreme Court judgments that have shown that in every single time have resolved in the favour of the platform under their First Amendment rights. So, sorry, Melissa, you're wrong. But the BBC, why did this happen? They haven't told us. He's just done it. For no reason.
They don't actually explain, do they? It's just, this thing happened. Why?
Well, if you go down enough, right, far enough into the article, they say, Mr. Musk has not directly commented on the suspensions, but said in a tweet that criticising me all day long is totally fine, but doxing my real-time location and endangering my family is not. Right. So, they were doxing his real-time location and endangering their family. That's not the headline, BBC. The headline is that Scrooge McMusk has decided to ban all these journalists for no reason because he's an evil tyrant. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic.
Man
right?
arrested by FBI. Why? Don't ask.
Yeah, exactly. Because the FBI are just bad. Actually, the FBI are bad, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But Musk says the same doxing rules apply to journalists as everyone else. He said, okay, good. That as it should. You shouldn't be putting out people's personal location in real time. And if you do, it seems to be an obvious incitement to harassment, at the very least.
If not violence.
Violence.
Going by the United States Supreme Court's the strongest defense of free speech of any given nation in the legal sense, even their definition comes down to imminent incitement to violence is something that is banned.
Yes.
And you can reasonably infer this.
Speaking of free speech, oh, so much for commitment to free speech, says Newsweek. So much to get the...
Okay, Brad, what's your location? Let us know. Put it in the comments.
But also, Brad, let's pull up your history of defending free speech, shall we?
Yeah.
Oh, Alex Jones off, Donald Trump off. Oh, now it's Keith Olbermann and Taylor Lorenz. Oh, well, I mean, so much for free speech. See, this is C.S. Lewis. No, it was C.S. Lewis? No, it was the guy who wrote Dune, Frank Herbert, where he's like, when they're strong, when they're weak, they'll use your principles against you. When they're strong, they'll take them away. This is what is happening right now, right? They don't care about free speech. And of course, Musk knows this, thank God. He's like, well, so inspiring to see the newfound love of freedom of speech by the press.
A little love heart emoji.
Yeah. I mean, it is.
They're like 13-year-old tweeting.
Yeah.
It's good.
I'm hoping that he gets to the Chelsea Manning level of tweeting, where everything's in emojis. Just his entire Twitter policy is now emoji driven. But the
As
point,
clear as mud.
Yeah, but the point is that Musk clearly understands that these people are disingenuous snakes who are just saying this because they hope it'll pull on Musk and be like, oh yeah, no, I do have to let him back on. No, you don't, right? I mean, no mention in the BBC of the Twitter files. Do you know anything about the Twitter files?
I remember hearing about it.
Right. Well, it's quite important. It just shows that Twitter, essentially before Musk, just to summarize all of it, were kind of like a woke cult that were desperate and proud of deplatforming Donald Trump and everyone else, and were quite willing to just comply with every FBI request they got. Do you know how many FBI requests they got?
10?
About 150.
That's quite a lot.
Do you know there were some accounts the
FBI request for what exactly?
Deplatforming. Censor this person, said the FBI.
The FBI say, we don't like this guy, get rid of him.
Yes.
He's not broken any law.
No.
Otherwise they'd arrest him.
Of course not. They had 80 people.
It's the FBI. Yeah.
They had 80 people on the team monitoring Twitter for tweets that they didn't like.
They're all getting paid.
They're all getting paid by the taxpayer.
To Jesus
Well,
Christ.
so literally millions, right?
Yeah.
But and interestingly, some of the people they would go after would have 10 followers. There's this tweet that 3 people must have seen. We want you to take this down. It's why?
So if you actually just hurt the fifis of the @FBI Twitter account, they used to write letters to HQ and get
emails to Yoel Roth saying, and Yoel Roth were yep, just done, sorted. And so it's not technically illegal, probably, but it is weird.
This is unconstitutional.
I mean, there's bound to be an argument. It would have to go through the courts. Yeah. I don't know, right? But it's probably not technically illegal on the face of it. But it's all obviously gross and corrupt and shows that
anti-American.
It's anti-American, and it shows a weird fusion of private business and government agency. I think there's a word for that, but I can't remember what it is. I mean, it may be that Jack Dorsey committed perjury when he was testifying in front of Congress.
And lied.
Yeah, and just openly lied and said we don't shadow ban conservatives. And then Elon Musk just oh yeah, look, here's the shadow banning code. Here's the list of people. Oh, look, it's all conservative shadow ban. Don't know what to tell you. So well done there, Musk, right? But moving on, we get to December the 15th, and it got its own Wikipedia page. Can you scroll down this just to show you the length of the Wikipedia page?
The December 15th suspensions from Twitter. Oh, for God's sake.
This must be like 5,000 words.
What?
Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, I know why this is so long. The people who do Wikipedia moderating are
left-wing, and it's an extension of the Democrat
This is
Party.
the most important thing to them.
Exactly. Look at the size of the article, right? And it's people like I said, Keith Olbermann, who are banned, right? Aaron Rupar, Keith Olbermann. If you go to the next one, just see this lunatic. I mean, look at his face, right? We don't even have to watch any of the video. Just look at his face. This is someone who's totally captured by social media, totally captured by Twitter. And so they've... Can you play the video?
To be honest, I actually do feel sad for Keith. I've watched a lot of his videos and that.
Oh, he's pathetic. You just play it with the sound off.
Hey,
right?
I don't know if this got any...
But look at the excitement. This is something deeply important to him. And it was so important that his dog apparently has a Twitter account that he commandeered. It's like tweeting under his dog's Twitter account. It's like, Keith, you were doxing the man in real time, mate.
Have you not got a family?
Yeah. Like, this is the most important thing that's happened to him all year. But anyway, let's move to Taylor Lorenz. She got banned too.
For doxing.
Could you believe it? This is just to give you a before.
Which doxing was she banned for?
Well, before we get on, let's just pull up these images, John. So this is Taylor Lorenz in 2020 saying, "Look, I went to a private Swiss boarding school at 90k tuition. Blah blah blah. It taught me so much about the underprivileged." Which it would. If you go to the next one, then you go forward 2 years, and she's like, "I never went to a." So she's a liar, right? She's just a known public liar.
You know that's where Kim Jong-un went, right?
Yeah, and didn't Assad go there?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Very underprivileged people.
It's weird how the circle she mixes in. Anyway, if you go to the next one, John pointed out, wow. Didn't have that on my 2022 bingo card.
To be honest, I am quite happy to see that everything is healing.
I know. Nature is healing. Why? Well, I mean, she is responsible for doxing loads of people. Loads of people. This is Ariadna Jacob, who's like, look, I wasn't famous, but I got doxed because I was annoying them. And of course, she doxed libs of TikTok. Mm-hmm. And I don't think this is the end of it. I just got bored of searching through the list of people she's doxed. And she was saying, I wasn't. She took to TikTok herself, saying, I wasn't trying to get libs of TikTok banned. You were just misgendering people, and that was the policy. So you were trying to get banned. That's the point.
That was a bannable offence.
Yeah. And so you trying to highlight that is trying to get them banned. And so
she's smile. Look at the smile.
Yeah. So she's lying, and she knows she's lying.
Yeah.
But
sad
Elon,
to see an old woman go that way.
Yeah, but Elon was like, look, I am a merciful God. I will put out a poll, Vox Populi, Vox Dei. Shall we unsuspend the accounts who dox my exact location in real time? And people are like, you can do it now, or you can do it in 7 days. I was on the 7 days train. Give them a week off. Make them languish in the oubliette for at least a week.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is something that frankly needs to be automated, which is that whatever your suspension, it should be a week or month, whatever, as long as it's a fixed period that's within a human time frame.
Yep.
Whatever, no one's going to really care.
Yep. 5,000 years in jail. Yep.
I mean, even if you get banned from like Gmob servers, you don't get 9,000 years. So,
all except one were unbanned.
Ooh, who remained?
Let's go to the next one, John.
Taylor Lorenz was permanently suspended after Elon Musk said it was temporary. I wonder, did he have a message from the FBI or?
I know, but we're writing to let you know that your account has been permanently suspended due to multiple or repeat violations of our rules. Replies to this email will not be reviewed, as this decision will not be reversed. Thanks, Twitter.
Thanks.
I gotta say,
the atmosphere at Twitter.com's headquarters must be just so much more fun.
Yeah. I mean, there's justice for everyone that Taylor Lorenz has dogged.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so then you got Aaron Rupar, who did come back and was like, the rules are so vague, you can get banned for anything, which is probably the point. It's like, welcome to the real world, Neo, because that's what it's been like for us for literally the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. You deliberately had, I mean, this has been the eternal complaint about Silicon Valley. I've been banned or we've been struck or whatever, and we don't know why because you haven't pointed to a timestamp and a particular rule. And that's always the way it's been. And so now the sword of Damocles is above your head as well.
Did I tell you about the black guy who got banned from Facebook? He made a pancake mix. You know, like all those different like black people on boxes of food selling stuff. That was unacceptable. So he made his own pancake mix, put himself on the box.
Right.
They banned him for racism.
What?
Because of his representation of black people as, I don't know, some kind of inferior people.
What?
He had to appeal it.
Excuse me, it's not racist for me to put my face on a pancake box because I literally made this pancake, and what's wrong with you?
But I mean, how vague do the rules have to be that your own face is considered racism? I mean, I don't know who gets that honour, but presumably just him.
I haven't heard of that. Yeah. Anyway, so moving on. Elon, this was a great series of wins for Elon. And really, he should have left it there. He should have just been like, right, that is like, I've scoured the earth. I've banned a bunch of journos. I've let a few back because I'm a magnanimous god. But I'm keeping Taylor Lorenz off just because I know it's going to really drive her mental. But then he decided to carry on and started introducing policies like blocking links to Instagram, Mastodon, other places, but not TikTok, incidentally. Right? So you can't be...
Was he drunk? What?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. Like the point of this policy is to make sure that you can't just have an account that is like, you know, the Facebook account on Twitter, promoting Facebook on Twitter. And it's like, okay, but why? Like there's a profound weakness in that policy. I mean, he tweeted that, oh well, it's just common sense from a business perspective. It's like, it kind of is, but Twitter isn't a standard business, right? Obviously, Tesco's aren't going to promote Sainsbury's food, but that's not what Twitter is. Twitter is, as you characterized it, the public square. And notice how you don't go to Facebook to promote Twitter. Facebook comes to Twitter to promote them. You go to Twitter. This is where everyone is. This is like it's the center of gravity of the online universe, basically, when it comes to people who think of themselves as important or want to be important, having a voice that other people can hear. They don't go to Facebook. They don't go to Mastodon. They don't go to Gab. They don't go to Getter. They don't go anywhere else. They go to Twitter. And so
it's also just because you've got all the excitement right now.
Exactly. But it has been that for a long time, right? And so, Twitter don't set up a Getter account, but Getter do set up a Twitter account, that sort of thing. And so this seems actually kind of weak, because it's like you're the point at the bottom of the filter where everything is rolling down to. You don't need to ban these things, and actually it makes you look like actually you're not so confident in your position, which is never a good sign. Don't show weakness. But Elon tweeted out an apology for this. He reversed this policy apparently. Going forward, there'll be a vote for major policy changes. My apologies, won't happen again. It's like, I'm not sure. I mean, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the fact that he can admit his mistake here, but I'm not sure this is actually the wisest thing. Like, he should be taking the executive action on policy as he wants it, and then if that kicks up a lot of stink from the marginal left-wing brigade online on Twitter, just do one of these polls that will get like the majority of people behind what he wants, just to tell them, look, everyone wants it, shut up. You don't need to actually do policy by democracy, and it's probably wise that you don't, because people will vote for Boaty McBoatface and things like that. So, you don't need to do that.
Going to rename Twitter. What to?
Well, and this actually next one is a great example of how he undermines himself using polling on Twitter. Should I step down as head of Twitter, I will abide by the results of this poll.
Yeah, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Like, you own it.
Yeah.
I don't get this.
I mean, the poll should have read, should I just arbitrarily ban a few more left-wing verified checkmark journos? I will abide by the results of this poll.
just completely arbitrarily.
Yeah, just I'll pick some out of the hat. Pew. Why? Because I can.
Live stream it. Just that one.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Not should I step down as head of Twitter, because now they're always going to beat him with this. 'Cause I mean, like he I don't know whether he will or won't. I mean, he will eventually. But the point is, he says the question is not finding a CEO, because of course there are going to be loads of people who would love to be the CEO of Twitter, but it's finding one who can keep Twitter alive, because of course Twitter is losing money. Now, I don't know what the financial state of Twitter is since he took over and released all its financials. I don't know how much money they're making from the blue checkmark scheme, the Twitter blue scheme, advertisers, various things like that. We haven't got any further information as far as I'm aware. But people are like, well, who are you thinking of as a successor? And he's like, there is no successor. If you go to the next one, he's got like no one in mind. No one wants the job who can actually keep Twitter alive. There is no successor. So it's like, right. So what was this? This wasn't the best move, in my opinion.
The quartering's just like, well, here's my resume.
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, and I you may as well, you don't ask, you don't get. But the point is, this shows an inconsistency, a mercurial nature in Elon that actually is not wise, and he should have, in my opinion, after the grand releasing of the journos from jail, just done nothing. Silence would have been really powerful at that point, because the demonstration of power was made. Look, I can just bang it, ping, 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 ping. You'll do exactly as I say. And now I don't need to do anything, because doxing is already verboten on this platform. The rule will be applied evenly, and then, great, I'm going off to watch the World Cup. Have a great time. I'll be tweeting about football, and just left it at that, and then nothing would have changed. There would have been no sort of loss of prestige on Elon's part. He would have just been actually increasing the amount of intimidation his name would have brought around. But this instead gives them a method to attack him, and it's like there was no need for it. So you should formulate your policy in private, Elon, and only when you feel that it needs popular justification, appeal to polls. Don't make policy by democracy, because people. I mean, think how many bots the left have access to. How many bot farms do they have access to? They'll rig any poll they need to.
We hope you all enjoyed that segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, and we all wish you a very Merry Christmas. This year, a half-decent gift might be a £5 subscription to our website to access all the premium content we have, exclusive to our premium members, such as this episode of Josh's series, Contemplations, where he and I discussed the proposition of whether or not we are a civilization of drug addicts. If you'd like to see what the rest of Josh is putting out, you can follow him on Getter at Josh_firm. Have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you and goodbye.